Hi everyone, welcome to Black Span. Let me cut the light on. Oof. Hey guys, so I want to come on and talk to you guys really briefly here, because we are being dehumanized and demoralized as a people. We're being manipulated, and this isn't just for black people. You know, I'm saying black people, and the title is black people because I see it grossly in my community because I am black, and that is my targeted demographic. Although this can apply to everyone, I say black people because when I listen to country music and I listen to other venues of music, I don't get that same feeling, or those I get those. I don't get the adrenaline. I get more of an enjoyable dopamine when I listen to country music and stuff like that, especially my rock music. But y'all know my favorite song is Bon Jovi, "Wanted Dead or Alive." But anyway, so first we have to understand that if you look at our today's behavior, it is very immoral, it is very violent, and it is very inconsiderate. And that has become normalized for us. It's normal to have an adverse, disrespectful reaction to something than it is to be calm and rational. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's wanting Dracos and assault rifles and assault guns. That it is normal to have those now, and it is normal to use them, pull them out and kill anybody. It's like once you get those guns, the first thing you want to do is shoot them. The first thing I want to do when I got a gun was shoot it. You know what I'm saying? I probably didn't want to shoot it at someone, but I definitely want to fire off. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're losing our humanity. You know what I mean? And it's like no one cares. The things that we should care about, we don't care about. Like for example, my yard. If I show you my yard is turning yellow, it's dying. I feel bad because my grass is dying. I'm like, damn, that's got to be painful to just dry the fuck up like that. But it's like, for me, that's a normal way of thinking. Whereas anybody else just wouldn't give a fuck. Fuck it. You know what I mean? And for me, that's abnormal. And there was a time when that was abnormal for a black person to have dying grass and not feel empathetic to that grass and not want to water it. You know what I'm saying? Watering the lawn is not a white folk thing. You see what I'm saying? It's like anything that is moral and good and virtuous, we say, oh, that's a white folk thing. And that's because we have been desensitized. And now we feel like speaking proper, it's a white folk thing. That we don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Watering your grass, it's a white folk thing. We don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Starting a business, pretty soon everything is going to be a white folk thing. And we don't do that. It's shunned in our community. Anything positive is shunned in our community. And that's because we've become dehumanized. You know what I'm saying? Having a baby mama used to be unheard of in the black community. You know what I'm saying? And now it's overran with baby mamas. You know what I'm saying? To be honest, if you look back at history, it was white folks that was getting these hoes pregnant and leaving these bitches in the dust. You know what I'm saying? In the 30s, the 40s, you know what I'm saying? The 20s. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't white families like that. You know what I'm saying? They would sometimes they would throw the bitch out and keep the kids. You know what I'm saying? Because as they look at my Black Women Cannot Be Feminist video, I go over the suffrage and stuff like of my European sisters that went through, and I say that loosely because it's not very many of us that could have a sisterhood or alliance with. But white women went through a suffrage and they had a big issue with their man, whereas we never had that issue. So, but now it's like, now it's cool to have a baby mama. It's cool to be a baby mama. And it's socially acceptable to be a baby mama and not a wife. Whereas it used to be a shame. Women used to be ashamed of being a baby mama. And now that they had a song, that's just my baby daddy. And now they're making all these inhumane things cool. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody got herpes, so having herpes is nothing to worry about now. You know what I'm saying? That's fucking weird. How are you gonna make having a STD okay? No, it's not okay just because the herpes may live in everyone's body but not be active. No, Fuck that. No, 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 no. You're not going to make me think that. Taking psychotropic drugs is now cool. Well, at first it would be like, what the fuck? Why would you take that? You know what I'm saying? I'd rather smoke some weed because it's from the earth. But the problem is, the weed now, if you look at my last rant, not my last video, but my last rant, I went over how weed is psychotraumatic and how it's overabundance of THC and causes brain atrophy and stuff like that. So that's not even a natural plant anymore. It's a manufactured drug now that's look like a plant. It's an artificial plant. You see what I'm saying? So now, at first people used to take the pills that people used to pop when I was younger was like Valiums and things like that. Stuff that'll calm you down when you have anxiety, anti-anxiety stuff. Now they're taking psychotropic drugs, and it's cool now. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. When I was young, people was taking muscle relaxers and fucking and anti-anxiety stuff. You know what I'm saying? Which most of us probably needed quiet as kept, you know, then and now. Now we're taking psychotropic drugs, meaning like antipsychotics. Now we're in, the thing about an antipsychotic and an opioid, if you do not need the antipsychotic, if you don't have the proper chemical imbalance in your brain and you take that, it causes the chemical reaction. So basically taking a person who isn't psychotic, taking an antipsychotic will make them psychotic. You see what I'm saying? Understand that. That's why a lot of people that pretend to be crazy to get them checks was started saying fuck that check because the drugs was actually driving them crazy. You know what I'm saying? So if just like a depressed person takes an antidepressant nowadays and would get more depressed, but you're supposed to get less depressed. Now it's giving you suicidal thoughts and stuff like that. Just like and I feel like there's other healthier ways to release certain dopamines within your body. That's why they call dope, because it releases dopamines in your brain. I feel like if you went 21 days without smoking and drinking, and for those 21 days you got excited off of literature and books, then you can begin to get that high or that rush from that dopamine release from reading books or doing something more helpful to yourself. Because as we are moving as a people, we are becoming demoralized, and it's becoming normalized for us to be immoral. You know what I'm saying? It's now becoming cool to be a thief. You know what I'm saying? Whereas back in when I was younger, when people was boosting, it was quiet as kept, and when you bought stuff from boosters, it was quiet as kept. Not everybody's out with it. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day when you were a scammer doing white collar crimes, why is it a white collar crime? It was not a badge of honor. It was embarrassing to be a criminal, period. So it wasn't something that you bragged about. It wasn't. Now it's cool to be a scammer. You see what I'm saying? It's like we are being dehumanized. And it's like we are being taken. People, let's say, oh, we came from kings and queens. Well, bitch, we're not acting very kingly and very queenly right now. We're acting more like court jesters. You know what I'm saying? When I tell myself Happy New Year in March. You know what I'm saying? And I don't celebrate it outwardly, but I let myself know, you know, this is the beginning of life of it started with a C, the photosynthetic process universally. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about just photosynthesis in a plant or in a house. You know what I'm saying? I mean, globally, the planet is going through photosynthesis. That's what the seasons are. You see what I'm saying? So I just honestly think that if we were to kind of maybe get back to bring back the moral compass and bring back right from wrong. Right now, for the black youth, when I'm looking at them, and it's sad to see it, wrong is right and right is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Just by looking at it. Like, for an example, dressing your daughter up like a little skank and doing a little mini video with her on the internet would be frowned upon when I was younger. I'm not old. I'm just saying 10 years ago, that shit was frowned upon. Now you got bitches. Now you got a whole mini hoe line on Fashion Nova, where it's just whole clothes made in smaller sizes for your kids. You know what I'm saying? these girls are not going through tomboy phases anymore. They're going straight to dick, straight to fucking, straight to hoism. You know what I'm saying? You're not raised. To be honest, you're not raising your daughter right if she's not going through a tomboy phase. Well, that's a tomboy phase is really the phase in a little girl's life where she's not very comfortable being too sexy and she just comfortable in jeans and clothes. She's more comfortable covered up. That's all that is. The phase in a woman's life right before sex appeal kicks in. And if your child has had sex appeal her entire life, there's something wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? Every girl goes through that quote unquote tomboy phase where they don't dress provocative and sexy. You know what I'm saying? It's that phase after your mother starts dressing you and you start dressing yourself. That's all the tomboy phase is. When a young woman, a young lady, before she becomes a woman, starts dressing herself. And when a girl starts first dressing herself, she shouldn't want her titties hanging out. She shouldn't want all these skin tight clothes on. She shouldn't want her ass cheeks hanging out. It's not that she's acting like a boy. No, that's just a title that was put on it. It's not like she's a dyke and wants to be a butch lesbian. No, it's just that this is the point in her life where now she's dressing herself and she's not comfortable yet wearing hoe clothes. You know what I'm saying? I'm not comfortable wearing hoe clothes all the time. If I'm going to the club, of course I'm a little provocative. I'm a little sexy. I'm a grown-ass woman. I can do what I want to do. But when I'm going to the store, I'm not provocative. You know what I'm saying? I don't have on skin tight clothes every time I go somewhere, everywhere I go. Now, granted, I'm cheap and I don't spend my money on things, on disposable items such as clothes. So if I gain a little weight, I'm going to squeeze into that shit until I lose the little weight. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not fit to be buying a new wardrobe every time I gain or lose a pound. I will not. My clothes are my belly beads. So it's like, and now we telling these girls, oh, that bitch, she must be gay because she's covered up and not dressed like a hoe when she could just not be a hoe. You see what I'm saying? Being a hoe is another thing that they are normalizing for us, especially in the black community. And that is that's not even that's a small modicum, a small piece of who black women are. It's really not black women as hoes. It's these other bitches posing as black women, like Danny Lee, for example. I only brought up her because, you know, she was recently on the headlines for colorism, the colorism song. You know what I'm saying? He want a yellow bone song, however that shit go. That's the wrong rhythm, but you see what I'm saying? She's not, a yellow bone is a high yellow black woman. She's not a high yellow black woman. She's a Spaniard. Her mother's a Spaniard and her father is a Dominican, which is another Spaniard because Dominico was an island that was taken over by the Spaniards, which are Spanish-speaking Europeans. So, we are at this point where we are, again, I want to be repetitive in my conversation so you'll get it. We're normalizing immoral behavior. We're becoming immoral as a people, whereas people used to look up to black people. Now they look down on us. You know what I'm saying? Because now we're the epitome of immorality. At first, it was a lie and a stereotype. Now we have brung it into truth. You know what I'm saying? Now when a woman clenches her purse walking by a certain phenotypically looking black man, he may be coming to rob her. Whereas at first it was a stereotype. You know what I'm saying? You have black people that won't go to the corner store. They got a bunch of niggas hanging out at the corner. You know what I'm saying? And we're black. You know what I'm saying? It's because they're borderline acting like demons now. You know what I'm saying? Just negative succubus sucking the positive energy out of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like the music has us hypnotized and demoralized and has us thinking that we're something that we're not. TV, all these outside sources are dehumanizing us, and now we have become inhumane. You know what I'm saying? We have become the negative stereotype that used to be a falsehood about us. You know what I'm saying? Just like that young man, King Von. His homeboy thought it was moral. The boy he was fighting, his friend thought it was moral and humane of him to shoot this and kill this man because he was in fisticuffs with his friend. That is not a rational thought. That is not a rational behavior. That's not a rational reaction to a fist fight, to go and get a gun and shoot. You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? That's not rational. It's 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 not rational to shoot someone. Your first thought be to kill someone because there's a physical altercation going on. No, your first reaction, it used to be to break this shit up, dog. Fuck this shit. That whole ass nigga ain't worth it. That used to be the first reaction. You know what I'm saying? Now the first reaction, now it's uncool to break up a fight and walk away. Now it's better to escalate that shit to violence. You see what I'm saying? And then y'all wonder why these cops keep getting off, because we have made the stereotype real, and we have actually provided them with a genuine fear. It like the reaction to these psychotropic drugs, the reaction to over a dose of THC in our system. An overdose doesn't always come by way of convulsions and death. An overdose can actually present itself in your actions, in your mind frame, in your thought process. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be like actually looking crazy like that to actually be crazy and psychotic in the mind. You know what I'm saying? The overdose of THC very rarely shows itself physically. It's a mental reaction. You know what I'm saying? And if they are scared of you mentally, then they can kill you physically. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that was the purpose of Martin Luther King, because people didn't understand that was a war strategy, that nonviolent. He had more guns than any revolutionary. You know what I'm saying? Ralph Abernathy stayed strapped. You had Ralph fucked up if he ain't had no pistols on him, a few of them. He had them in his ankle, and I talked to his people. He kept them in his ankle and in his waistband. You know what I'm saying? Behind his back where you couldn't see it. You know what I'm saying? So that tucking your gun in the spine of your shit, white people didn't make that up. Revolutionaries made that up. That's what black people used to hide their guns on their ankles and behind their backs and under their armpits in their vests. So what we have to understand is that Martin Luther King's war strategy was nonviolence, to show the world that, hey, we are not out here starting this shit. They putting these dogs on us. They killing us because we're nonviolent. We peacefully doing this, and their reaction to our peace is violence. Now they can legitimately say that they were scared and get away with it because it did not be frowned upon, because their fear is now become real. You know what I'm saying? We're no longer nonviolent, peacefully doing things. And I'm not saying even in protest or revolutionary speaking. I'm talking about in our daily life. We're not living our daily lives in a peaceful manner. So now they can say, that's why they always bring up black on black crime. Because it is a high number of you dumbass niggas out there killing y'all, still killing each other and saying it and thinking it's cool. You see what I'm saying? So they are making it so we are not humane. It's bad enough when it comes down to the Constitution. We're not humans. It takes 5 black people to equal 1 black person, because we're 2/5 of a man, 1/5 of a man. So it's bad enough we're already not human in the eyes of the law. Now we have become dehumanized spiritually and mentally. You know what I'm saying? To ourselves. To where they can honestly say, if they don't value themselves, how they will not value me. So it's them before me. We have this mentality too. Kill before be killed or be killed. So if we have that mentality towards each other, then they're going to have that mentality towards us. You know what I'm saying? Because again, being immoral is now the moral thing to do. You see what I'm saying? Being immoral is now moral. You know what I'm saying? A little girl can't dress decent without y'all saying, oh, she must be gay because look, she wearing pants all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? Why can't she just not be a slut-ass bitch and want to cover the fuck up? You see what I'm saying? Why is that? You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. We have put all these labels and stigmas on morality and not on immorality. You know what I'm saying? Like, a person like me who is speaking rationally, speaking to you guys about being dehumanized, I'm crazy. I'm crazy. I'm a conspiracy theorist, even though a conspiracy exists and theories do exist. So I don't understand how that could be a negative, a double negative. You know what I'm saying? I'm a conspiracy theorist. You know what I'm saying? I'm psychotic. I'm tripping. I'm crazy. All because I'm saying, as a people, we are being dehumanized by our immoral actions and immoral ways. You see what I'm saying? So I want y'all to think on that. I want y'all to sit on that and understand how being a degenerate and being immoral and being a cast off is now being upheld in the black community. Why do we uplift our drug dealers and call our teachers broke ass bitches? Why do we uplift the whores in our community and marry them and leave the good women in our society to be single mothers, or even if we even get nutted in, to be mothers? You know what I'm saying? Why are not the whores being aged out and being old maids, but the good women in society that are being cast out and being called old maids? Why is it that men with money get with women that just want to spend money instead of getting with women that want to take that money, flip that money, and turn that money into $1 million corporation? You see what I'm saying? It's a reason why for example, it's so many dope boys and so many high-paid, high-ranking drug dealers that are still drug dealers because the women that they're associating themselves with are not taking that drug money and turning it into a legitimate business like it used to be back in the day. You see what I'm saying? It used to be back in the day where a drug dealer or own a car wash or own a business. Now these drug dealers are just drug dealers. They don't want to own shit. They want to buy shit. They want to have no houses, no land. Now you done made all this money and you can afford properties and lands and stuff, but you rather go rent a mansion for $2,500 a month or $3,000 a month versus buying some land. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason why the ghetto and the projects and the disenfranchised communities are being bought out by Mexicans and Europeans. You know what I'm saying? Because you niggas don't want to own nothing. And when y'all do own something, you own some shit way out in the suburbs, where if you notice, the suburbs are becoming black neighborhoods, and the black neighborhoods are now globally are now becoming white neighborhoods because now the white people see the benefit of living inner city. It saves gas. It cuts back on pollution. Nobody wants to go to work for 8 to 10 hours and then drive an hour home. Now they see the benefit of living in the 5th ward, the 9th ward, the 3rd wards. You know what I'm saying? Those neighborhoods they threw black people in when they didn't want to deal with them no more. But see, that's when they needed you at your ass to be local. They needed you to be the janitor and to come be close to work so you can clean the fuck up and declog the toilet. And now that, you see what I'm saying? So now that contemporary education, I'm doing a video on that to explain that, it's out of the window. They no longer need the Negro. We can just kill each other off, move out to the suburbs, rob each other, kill each other, and do that. For another example of immorality, that girl, look her up. She was known as the queen of tax fraud. This is going to be my last example. The reason why the feds started investigating her because so many black people was calling in saying, this bitch commit fraud. She got all that money because she a fraud. Fraud. They got so many anonymous tips on this black girl who was from the ghetto, who used to use newspapers as maxi pads. They got so many anonymous tips from black people till they started investigating the bitch. Otherwise, they would have never found out about her. You see what I'm saying? But we are rationalizing being a hater. We rationalize things like that. And now things like that run rampant in our neighborhoods. Whereas it used to be being a hoe ass nigga and a hater was a bad thing. Now they tell you if you don't have no haters, you ain't shit. That's crazy. I don't want no haters. I don't want nobody talking down on me. That don't validate me. That don't make me feel good about myself. Now hatred is making you feel good about yourself. Immorality being normalized. Immorality is being made moral. You know what I'm saying? And we have to understand that and stop that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to pop you motherfuckers in the head. Stop it. This is Black Spin. I love you guys. Good night. And why nobody told me Game of Thrones was so good? Okay, bye y'all.